UFC Fight Night Andrade versus Blanchfield is this weekend. I'm going to be breaking down the card from start to finish, prelims to main card to the main event. And we have a pretty trash card this weekend, so I'm definitely not looking forward to. I'll probably do a fight companion anyways, but it's not a very fun card. I'm not looking forward to it. There's some matches I'll probably just briefly go over, but for this one, we are starting with Juancamilo Ronderos versus Clayton Carpenter. Ronderos 4-1, 28 years of age and 64.5 inches of reach. Carpenter 6-0, 26 years of age and 66 inches of reach. Carpenter will have a 1.5 inch reach advantage in this matchup. I am going to go with Clayton Carpenter. I think he's just better on the ground and on the feet. I think he's a little bit more talented. Showed some really good promise in that Edgar Chairez fight. Trains at the MMA lab with Sean O'Malley and the Kyler Phillips. So he's getting really good training. I think Sean O'Malley's probably the best, probably stand-up fighter, best guy on the feet, best striking-wise in the bantamweight division as of right now. So that's some really good work to get inside a camp in general. So I think Clayton Carpenter is just a better fighter in general. I think he's just got more skills than Juancamilo Ronderos. He lost his last fight against David Dvorak by submission, and then came in on a split decision win in the UFC. So yeah, I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter by first round finish in this one. Up the card, we have AJ Fletcher versus Themba Gorimbo. Fletcher 9-2, 26 years of age, 67 inches of reach. Gorimbo 10-3, 32 years of age and 76 inches of reach. Gorimbo will have about like 9 inches of reach advantage in this matchup, but I am going to go with AJ Fletcher in this one. I believe I took him in both matchups. Both of his previous matchups that he did lose. He's won off the contender series against Leonardo Damiani. I can't say his damn name for some reason. Lost to Matt Semmelsberger and then lost to Andrade, where it looked like he did kind of finish him, I believe, in like that second round. But I'm going to go with AJ Fletcher here. I think he's just explosive. I think he'll finally get his break here. Themba Gorimbo coming off his last fight, a win over Julio Rodriguez in Fury FC, and then lost to Anderson Ferreira. But I do think Fletcher will be able to get this here. I think he's bigger. I think he'll finally get his break here. Angelusa is a decent prospect in general. Matt Semmelsberger is good too. So I think he'll be able to take out Themba Gorimbo. I think he finally wins this matchup, gets a win in the UFC. But yeah, I think there's more finishing ability off of AJ Fletcher than Themba Gorimbo in this matchup. So that's why I'm going to go with AJ Fletcher in this one. Up the card, we have Nazim Sadykhov versus Evan Elder. Sadykhov 7-1, 28 years of age and 69 inches of reach. Elder 7-1, 25 years of age and 71 inches of reach. Elder will have a 2-inch reach advantage in this one, but I am going to go with Nazim Sadykhov. I think he's going to be able to take him down, pretty much just beat him up on the ground. I can see him finishing here in this matchup. I just think he's just going to be way better. In all honesty, that's how just a couple of these fights are. I just think he's a lot more talented than Evan Elder in all actuality. Evan Elder lost to Preston Parsons coming in. Nazim Sadykhov looked good against Ahmed Suhail Hassanzada. Won by KO in that matchup. I believe it was like the third round. But looked really good in that matchup. And again, I just think he's a little bit more skilled everywhere here. I think he'll be able to do well on the ground. So I'm going to go with Nazim Sadykhov. I'm going to be paying attention to this guy a little bit more here. Same thing with Clayton Carpenter. I think those guys are both pretty good fighters. So I'm going to keep an eye on both of these guys for this card. Up the card, we have OSP versus Philipe Lins. OSP 26-16, 39 years of age, 88 inches of reach. Lins 15-5, 37 years of age, and 78 inches of reach. OSP will have a 2-inch reach advantage. I am going to go with Philipe Lins. I think when you bring Shogun Rua to a split decision, even though you win, it's kind of rough to see you. Ihor Peteria just finished Shogun Rua in their matchup. Came off of losses to Tanner Boser against, I guess, the champ. Jamall Hill got KO'd. And then lost to Ben Rothwell, and then beat Alonzo Manyfield, which is a solid win, kind of. 2 years ago, he won that matchup. But I'm going to go with Philipe Lins. I just don't think OSP is the same guy. He's 40 years old at this point. Yeah, I'm going to go Philipe Lins for this one. He's coming off a decent win over Marcin Prachnio. Lost to Tanner Boser also. Lost to Andrei Arlovsky. So it's not great there either, but I'm still going to take him here. I think Philipe Lins is going to be better than OSP for sure. He's not. I wouldn't see Philipe Lins taking Shogun Rua to a barely winning a split decision victory over Shogun Rua. So I'm going to go Philipe Lins by a decision for this one. Up the card, we have Jamall Emmers versus Khusein. Oh, Askhabov. Okay, that's an interesting name. Emmers, 18-6, 33 years of age, 74 inches reach. Askhabov, I hope I'm saying that right. 23-0, 28 years of age, and it doesn't list the actual reach advantage here. For this one, I am going to go with Khusein Askhabov, I think is how you say it. Askhabov. But he does train at Tiger Muay Thai and American Top Team. So those are really big, great gyms, in all honesty, great places to train at. But he is coming in on the UFC. I believe he, what was that, 3-year kind of layoff here. Hasn't fought in 3 years. He's supposed to fight Joe Anderson. Brito was supposed to fight Herbert Burns. Didn't happen. He hasn't fought since 2020. So we'll see what he looks like. I think he'll probably just improve a little bit. He's 28 years old. So he went from 26 to 28, taking a couple of those years off. I'm sorry, 25, because you're roughing up. It's 2 years and 11 months. So he was like 25 years old when he took that time off. For Jamall Emmers, he's just a really weird fighter. For this matchup, he has wins over Corey Sandhagen, if I can find it here. He has a win over Corey Sandhagen, lost to Thiago Moises, went to a split decision against Giga Chikadze, lost to Pat Sabertini where he dropped him, but he did get like knee barred, I believe. Is either a knee bar or a heel hook. But looked good in those, or looked decent in those matchups. A win over Corey Sandhagen is always good. But I am going to go, yeah, with a heel hook. But I am going to go with Askhabov here. I think you can mix it in on him and take him down. Control there. But Jamall Emmers is a weird fighter. I wouldn't be surprised if he does win this, because it is, you can tell like the betting odds are really close here. So we'll see how this one goes. This is kind of a test for Askhabov for this one. So I'm going to go Askhabov by a decision in this one. I think it's going to be relatively close. Maybe a submission finish here. Actually, I can actually see a submission finish here, because Jamall Emmers didn't look too knowledgeable on the ground against Pat Sabatini. So I'm going to go with Askhabov either by submission or decision in this one. So let's move on. Up the card, we have Lina Lansberg versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Lansberg, 10-7, 40 years of age and 65.5 inches of reach. Silva, 9-2, 31 years of age and 66.5 inches of reach. Silva will have a 1-inch reach advantage here. I am going to go with Mayra Bueno Silva. Lina Lansberg, coming off a loss 3 months ago against Carol Rosa, majority decision, so I guess it was close. I lost to Penny Kianzad and lost to Sarah McMahon, won against Macy Chasson, which is actually a solid win, and then won against Tanya Evinger. Mayra Bueno Silva, coming off a win against Stephanie Egger, which she made quick work of, Yanan Wu, and then lost to Mana Fiora. So her only recent loss is against Mana Fiora. Mana Fiora just she just beat Caitlin Chikagan in that matchup. So I'm going to go with Mayra Bueno Silva. I think she has better losses, if that makes sense here. Although Lina Lansberg does have a win over Macy Chasson, I just think losing to Carol Rosa, losing to Penny Kianzad, Sarah McMahon, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go with Mayra Bueno Silva, maybe by submission here. Any submission. And Lina Lansberg is also 40 years old, almost 41. I'm for sure going to go with Mayra Bueno Silva, 100%. Up the card, we have Jim Miller versus Alexander Hernandez. Miller, 35-16, 39 years of age, 71 inches of reach. Hernandez, 13-6, 30 years of age and 72 inches of reach. Hernandez will have a 1-inch reach advantage. I am probably going to go with Jim Miller in this matchup. I think Alexander Hernandez just kind of gasses out. Like, he has one round in him, and he's super dangerous in that one round. But I think Jim Miller can survive that and finish Alexander Hernandez, or at least win the fight. I can see him probably getting a finish, probably like the end of the second or maybe in the third round, where Alexander Hernandez just absolutely gassed and Jim Miller just ends up just taking him out, because Alexander Hernandez is just completely tired. You saw that in the Billy Quarantillo fight. You saw it in the Renato Moicano fight. He fought some really good dudes. Like, he's losing to really good fighters. He beat like the guys you're supposed to beat. But I just think Jim Miller, I think he's going to be able to take him out here. Jim Miller has a win over Donald Cerrone, Nicholas Moda, Eric Gonzalez, lost to Joe Solecki, lost to Vince Pichel. So take that as you will, but I think he'll be able to take out Alexander Hernandez. I think Alexander Hernandez is just going to be too gassed, too tired after just trying to put it all away in that first round. But I'm going to go Jim Miller by finish in like late second or early third round. I can just see him finishing him off because Alexander Hernandez just one round in him. Great one round, and then he's done pretty much. So, up the card, we have William Knight versus Marcin Prachnio. William Knight, 11-4, 34 years of age, 73 inches of reach. Prachnio, 15-6, 34 years of age, 74 inches of reach. Prachnio will have a 1-inch reach advantage in this one. I'm gonna go with William Knight in this one. I just think he's gonna be bigger. I think he's just gonna use his size, maybe push him against the clinch, and then just start using close strikes there. I guess I don't really know where to go with this one. I don't think Marcin Prachnio's a crazy good fighter. I guess he has a win over Khalil Roundtree and Ike Villanueva, but I don't know, man. I just don't see it in Marcin Prachnio. William Knight, same thing. Like, he works, what does he work? Part-time Amazon worker or something like that. I think he missed weight last time he fought. I may be wrong here. Let me see if it probably won't show it. But I think he was like super heavy in that last matchup that he had. It was not a good appearance for him, at least. I think I don't know, was it like catch weight or something against Devin Clark? It was something like that. He missed weight. Big ordeal there, but William Knight's a very, very big dude. I think he's just going to be able to use his size, push Marcin Prachnio against the cage, and then maybe just take him out. Maybe he catches him, but I can just see him just outpointing him in this matchup. Maybe he gets a finish later on in that fight, but I got William Knight in this matchup. His last couple losses, Devin Clark, Maxim Grishin, which aren't horrible. One against Alonzo Menifield, one against Fabio Charant, lost to Don Young, so take it as you will. This is just another one of those matchups, I guess. Super close, but like the talent is just not here, in all honesty. I feel like William Knight's just a very athletic dude, but I don't know, man. I think maybe he just uses his size to win this one. It's a very, very even fight here. Up the card, we have Josh Parisian versus Jamall Pauga. Parisian, 15-5, 33 years of age, 79 inches of reach. Pauga, 9-3, 27 years of age and 77 inches of reach. Parisian will have a 2-inch reach advantage. I am going to go with Jamall Pauga here. He looks nothing like his picture, at least from his last matchup in the Contender Series against Paul Renato. I don't know. Paul Renato Jr. In the Contender Series. Won that fight by a decision. I think he came in on short notice for that matchup, but looked actually solid there. I think he's starting to build into the heavyweight division a little bit. He does look a little bit better. Condition wise in this matchup. So I am going to go with Jamall Pauga. I think he's just a little bit more technical for Josh Parisian here. I think he's going to be able to take him out by a decision. Just point him up in this matchup. You got the odds plus 180, minus 225. I think that's probably about right. Josh Parisian coming off a KO win over Alan Baudot. He lost to Dontel Mays. Won a split decision versus Roque Martinez. Lost to Parker Porter. Man. For Jamall Pauga, again, came on short notice, won a decision there. I think he's just going to be able to point Josh Parisian up in this matchup. So I'm going to go Jamall Pauga by decision. Up the card for our co-main event of the evening. Yes, so we have Zach Pauga versus Jordan Wright. Pauga, 5-1, 34 years of age, 76 inches of reach. Wright, 12-4, 31 years of age and 77 inches of reach. Wright will have a 1-inch reach advantage. I am going to go with Zach Pauga here. He lost by brutal KO against Mo Usman, which we haven't seen at all recently. I don't even know what the hell's up with the dude. But he looked decent on The Ultimate Fighter. I think that was the guy that a lot of people were looking at, was Zach Pauga over that whole cast, which was kind of underwhelming in all honesty. But Jordan Wright lost to Dusko Todorovic, lost to Marco Andre Barriot. I gotta say those names slow, man. I'm gonna say those wrong. And then lost to Bruno Silva by KO. So he's gotten finished in his last three. One against Jamie Pickett by KO. Lost to Joaquin Buckley by KO. So I'm going to go with Zach Pauga here. This is in the light heavyweight division, so take it as you will with Jordan Wright, but I just don't think he has the fight IQ to be... I don't think he has the fight IQ to win this matchup. I think Zach Pauga probably KOs him maybe in the first round. Jordan Wright probably going to look for takedowns. I think Zach Pauga will be able to defend them and then just take out Jordan Wright in this one. So I'm going to go Zach Pauga by KO in the first round. He ends up getting the finish. I think that's a decent bet. I kind of actually want to see what like the bettors have. Zach Pauga by finish in this one? I'm just kind of wondering because they do have a minus 300. So maybe you might be able to get good odds on Zach Pauga by finish, but let's move on. Up the card, we have Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield. Jessica Andrade, 24-9, 31 years of age, 62 inches of reach. Blanchfield, 10-1, 23 years of age, and 68 inches of reach. Blanchfield will have a 6-inch reach advantage in this one. Jessica Andrade is coming in on short notice for Tyler Santos. I was actually really interested in the Santos-Erin Blanchfield match. I mean, this one's kind of interesting still, but I think Santos was a little bit of a bigger name, especially after her last Valentina performance. But for this one, I guess let me just run through who they previously fought. So Jessica Andrade, coming off of that Valentina Shevchenko TKO loss in the crucifix position. She beat Cynthia Calvillo, Amanda Lemos, which is a really good win. Standing arm triangle is pretty impressive. And then just destroy Lauren Murphy in Brazil. For Erin Blanchfield, pretty much has fought like the softer. I guess she did beat Brogan Walker, which was in the finals of the Ultimate Fighter recently. But she's fought like those lower tier women's fighters, at least other than Miranda Maverick. That's like her highlight win pretty much. Beat Sarah Alpar by decision. Beat Miranda Maverick, out-wrestled her, which was super impressive. Beat JJ Aldridge by submission, and then just destroyed Molly McCann. No surprise there, but I think I might go Erin Blanchfield on this one, and this is why. Now, is there the threat on the feet for Jessica Andrade against Erin Blanchfield? Yes, Erin Blanchfield's stand-up is not very good. I think Jessica Andrade has a pretty solid chance of KOing Erin Blanchfield, or at least catching her and then just finishing her off. But I think in the fight against Valentina Shevchenko for Jessica Andrade, and I'm not necessarily comparing Valentina Shevchenko and Erin Blanchfield here, but Erin Blanchfield, the way she takes down ladies, that sounded awkward at first, but the way she takes down people is she kind of trips, and she kind of just trips the opponent that way. For the Shevchenko fight against Andrade, she was able to kind of like trip Andrade, put her off balance, and then just use her forward pressure and take her down. So Erin Blanchfield does the same thing, and I can see her having a lot of success on Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade actually got up quite a bit from the takedowns of Shevchenko, but I can see Erin Blanchfield, a very heavier opponent also like Shevchenko, because Andrade is moving up from where she was, I believe. She was at strawweight, now she's at flyweight. She's been in flyweight for a while now, but the bigger ladies that are actually like in this division, I think they're going to be able to out-wrestle her pretty decently. I think she's going to be able to get Jessica Andrade down and control her on the ground. Maybe we see another crucifix. I don't necessarily see a submission threat on a lady like Jessica Andrade, but I just think Erin Blanchfield, she might be able to get the submission in all honesty, but I can see her maybe just TKOing her on the ground. Maybe she gets back in the crucifix. Like for Shevchenko, she really had to try for that crucifix. Like Jessica Andrade is very tough. She's like a little ball of muscle in all honesty. So there is that threat on the feet for Erin Blanchfield, which I am a little worried about. That's why I'm not super confident in this pick, because the fight always starts out on the feet, and I can see Erin Blanchfield kind of grinding her out for a decision. Maybe she submits her like midway through this fight after Jessica Andrade gets a little tired after trying to defend some of these takedowns and is just getting beaten up on the ground. So I'm going to go Erin Blanchfield, maybe by submission midway through this fight or decision. But I think she's going to be able to avoid the bigger punches of Andrade. And if I think she does get hit with some of those bigger punches, I think she's going to be able to take her down eventually. So I'm going to go Erin Blanchfield either by a unanimous decision or like a 49-46, maybe 48-47. I don't know. 49-46 seems a little bit more comfortable for me because of that power from Andrade. But I am going to go with Erin Blanchfield either by decision or by submission midway through this fight. So that's what I have for this card. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. And all honesty, this is a boring card, so I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. But man, UFC needs to do a little bit better. I think we have Span versus Krylov coming up. I haven't really checked out that card yet, but if you want to join my Tapology group, you can join in the link down below. We have 8 people in there. You basically just make your picks, and they track it for all the cards that you've ever done for the years. If you want to keep track of how you are predicting these fights, you can go ahead and join there. If we get a certain amount of people, I might do a little bit more inside that group, but as of right now, you can see your results and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know who you guys think will win in this matchup against Jessica Andrade and Erin Blanchfield, and I'll see you guys next time.